So first, let's start with Austin's agenda. And I think right now, as I record this, this is January 8th, 2025. Really the most urgent matter, I think, politically is we have a special election. So obviously with the new year, the city of Buffalo has a new mayor. So Mayor Sean Ryan was elected last year, and he was a state senator. So actually on the last day of 2025, he resigned his state Senate seat so he could become mayor, leaving a vacancy in the New York State Senate. So January 2nd, Governor Kathy Hochul called a special election, and yeah, we have a vacant seat that we're filling via special election. So it's kind of a unique thing, but also something that's becoming very usual, right? This idea that politicians leaving their seat vacant before their terms empty, and then essentially leaving it to party bosses to pick who will be in the elections. So I did have a chance to speak. There was a protest yesterday because yesterday the Erie County Democratic Committee, who are essentially the group of people that chose who the candidates are, met yesterday. And I said when I spoke briefly to the media that Bob Dylan had a song called "Only a Pawn in Their Game," and I kind of turned out to protest because I'm sick and tired of being a pawn in their game, which is it's literally a political game of musical chairs. So yeah, obviously Mayor Sean Ryan vacating his Senate seat is not the first one, right? We had earlier, within just in the last few months and few years, we've had Congressman Brian Higgins resign his 2-year House of Representatives seat so he could go run Shays Theater. That left a vacancy that then State Senator Tim Kennedy is now a representative. And then his resigning left a seat vacant in the state Senate, which then led a county legislature abandoning their seat, leaving a vacancy there. Then we also had an Erie County legislature. Howard Johnson left his term early so he could be the deputy Board of Elections commissioner. And then the City of Buffalo Common Council chief of staff was appointed to that seat. So it's really this game of political chairs of, and I mentioned yesterday too, I kind of grew up on the idea of democracy and people have the power, right? And yeah, I'm just sick of being a pawn in their game because it's this game where politicians abandon or vacant their seat. They don't do their full term, and then we have these special elections. So yeah, a couple things about the special elections, and kind of another thing that's weird with this special election is yesterday the Erie County Democratic Committee nominated Jeremy Zellner to be the candidate, to be the Democrat candidate. And who is Jeremy Zellner? So Jeremy Zellner is the chairman of the Erie County Democratic Committee. He's also the commissioner of the Board of Elections, or he resigned that post. So he's kind of had this role in local politics of kind of being a kingmaker of, right? He's been both working at the Erie County Board of Elections and the chairman of the Erie County Democratic Party. And it's kind of similar, right? Imagine politics like a game of football. And imagine, right, if the Buffalo Bills were in the AFC Championship game playing the Kansas City Chiefs, imagine if Andy Reid was both the coach of the Chiefs and the referee. It would make it extremely hard for an underdog to win or participate. So that's kind of the egregious nature of this case. So essentially some dates, and I have the printout. Yeah, essentially February 3rd, there will be a special election. And the governor called for a special election, not just in Buffalo, but obviously the New York City, Zoran abandoned his assembly district seats. So there's a couple special elections around the state. But yeah, by February 3rd, will be the special election in the New York State 61st Senate district. And then in June, we'll actually have a real legitimate primary for this. So kind of the special election is just to see who serves the term for the rest of the year. But the issue with the special election is there's really a power of incumbency. So if Jeremy Zellner is able to become the incumbent state senator, then when he runs in the primary and in the general election later this year, he just has a tremendous advantage. So yeah, something to be, yeah, it kind of popped up on me too. But yeah, in a month we'll have an election, and yeah, that's a pawn in their game. I'm tired of being a pawn. I'm sure you are too, because yeah, democracy. Somebody had a good quote of democracy dies if we don't have elections, and if just the special election, right? They're following the letter of the law, but when you have people in power that are both the referees and the players in the game, they kind of they use the rules to their advantage, obviously. So that's, I think, the most important thing and the most urgent thing, because that's happening this month, and yeah, next month this time we'll have a new state senator. Yeah. So that's a pawn in my game. I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about was